Good morning, everybody. Live from the Relentless. We are coming back in from a great trip. My voice is a little bit shot because it has been so exciting. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. So good. Hey, I got to tell you, first of all, starting here on the Relentless out of H&M Landing in San Diego, we were just on a day and a half trip, and this crew, and Jolene Thompson is filming this right now. She's shaking her head before I even say it. Ted Havel, everybody. This crew was remarkable. From the captain to the galley guy to everybody on deck, it was truly a remarkable trip in terms of the effort they put out, the expertise that they showed, the patience that they showed. They walked around and tied everybody up. They made sure everybody was tied up, and that resulted in the score that we ended up with, which was, how many fish did we end up with? We ended up with 10 bluefin tuna. So the over-under, as you well know, was 15. So anybody who bet under is a big winner. And Scott Buchert, who was on this trip, has offered a date and dinner. So all you gotta do is contact Scott and date and dinner, and maybe even throw in a movie if you bet on the under. So great trip. So we left on a day and a half trip, and I will tell you right now that around San Clemente Island, where we were fishing, there is little or no sign all day long. You just drive back and forth in flat, calm, gorgeous seas. In our case, it was really beautiful, and you just keep moving around hoping that you're going to get a daytime bite. But we never got that, and in fact, as we talked to most of the fleet, nobody really got that. Maybe a fish or two got picked up, and then right at sundown, the magic started to happen, and we started to hang some fish, started to see more fish, started to stop on more fish. And man, I'll tell you what, Mike, who is the captain of this boat, he gets you so fired up with his play-by-play. When he starts with, all right, 200 feet, throw the bait, braille the bait, throw more bait. They're at 220 feet, throw the bait. Man, I mean, by the time you get out on deck and drop an iron down or throw a bait, you are so excited. Your adrenaline is flowing so much that it is really, really fun. It makes it a lot of fun. So Joe Martinez, of course, got the party started, quickly followed by Jolene Thompson. The two Joes got it rocking and rolling here on the Relentless. And then we had a few stops at night that were really good, where we hung a lot of fish. Casualty rates, of course, at night can be heavy, and most of the fish, I think our smallest one, Bob Gifford, caught that. It was 53 pounds. Our largest was up to around 88 pounds, and that was Anthony?
Yes.
And that was Anthony. So Anthony Amalfitano with his personal best. When I put the video together, I'm going to try to do that today and have it out tomorrow. You'll see some of the emotion. Anthony hugging Jonathan, who's the deckhand who coached him through it. You'll see Jolene come over and give him a hug for catching that fish. It was really a great group of people on this Friedman Adventures trip. And before we caught anything at all, everybody was still upbeat, positive, really having a great time. And I had the feeling, Jolene and everybody, that if we didn't catch a fish, everybody'd be walking off this in about 5 minutes saying, great trip. And that is due to the people that were on board and the crew members. It was great. So 300 to 500 gram jigs were working good. And I say it all the time, Brett Ender, who's on the trip, will tell you, I hear it every morning, Phil, and you're going to hear it again today, Brett, and that is drop when the captain says to drop. The really good anglers, there's no mistake about why they're successful. They work hard at this. They are on the rail, and they drop when the captain says to drop. And I like heavy leaders, nothing less than 200 pound, are going to work really, really well for you. Those daytime fish are those fish that were hooked in the twilight, like Jolene's fish. They were really tough. I mean, you'll see the battle. I don't know how many times you go around the boat, Jolene.
6.
At least. I mean, you were wearing me out, but you got my step count up, so I have to help you. I have to thank you for that. So, really, really fun fishing. Some guys last night had exceptional scores. Some guys didn't get on them, but overall, there's a nice big area of fish. The water's pretty warm there, and it looks really, really good. So, great trip on the Relentless. Thanks to all the people who came out and joined us on this one. And it's not over. There's Thanksgiving turkey still on the horizon. Now, I'm torturing Jolene because she's taping me right now, but I need to go to Ensenada and just let you know that down there at Victor's Blackfin, they continue to catch good rockfish. They go down to the Soledad Bank on many occasions, down there near Punto Santo Tomas, and they've been doing really, really good on that. We're going to be joining them next Saturday. They're going to take care of a local orphanage, and we're going to bring down a lot of stuff, and I'm so looking forward to next Saturday. It'll be a couple days after Thanksgiving. Great way to celebrate Thanksgiving by going down and spending time with them. Arnie Man down there in Ensenadas picked off some nice yellowtail also around Punta Banda, along with some big bonita, so that's been going on also. Along the coast, we see mostly shallow water rockfish right now. Water temps are down, so from down below the border all the way up to the Santa Monica Bay and above, mostly shallow water rockfish. And then at the islands, we are seeing a lot of rockfish also. Some yellows, a lot of squid. We saw squid. We didn't put squid lights out, and there was squid floating everywhere through the bluefin tuna zone. I know there's squid at Clemente, Catalina, Channel Islands, all over the place. That bodes well for, well, it could be a wintertime bite on sea bass yellows and that kind of stuff, but it certainly bodes well for the spring. You're going to see a good sea bass bite next season. I'm almost 100% convinced of that, but you know how my predictions go with the albacore and everything else, so don't take that to the bank. On the surf, there's a few halibut being taken on Lucky Crafts and that kind of stuff. So, what can I say? Anybody want to come in here and say anything?
40-pound test on that 80-pound tuna, 88-pound tuna.
40 pound, that's right, Anthony fished Daiwa fluorocarbon, and it was 40 pound on that 80-pound tuna. What'd you catch yours on? 60 pound. Yeah. Sinker rig and 60 pounds. So. Oh, that's right. You know, Ted mentions that blue sharks are back. I haven't seen that many blue sharks for a long time, and really, it's great to see that. Maybe that cycle's coming back, or maybe it's evidence that the ecosystem is improved to the point where we're getting blue sharks back. Maybe the commercial fishing is down on it, but it is truly good to see that. All right, do me a big favor. You know what I'm going to ask you. Give me a like, and I'll get you in contact with Scott so you can cash in on that under bet and get a date with him and go to the movies, and I'm sure he'll buy you an extraordinary dinner. When he took me to dinner last time, this is the truth, he did the 2-for-1 Big Macs and handed me a Big Mac, so he's a very generous guy. Hey, thanks. What's that?
Fish were at 150 to 300.
Fish were at 150 to 300, but you're going to want to listen to your captain. You're going to listen to him on the depth of the fish and drop to that appropriate level. All right, we're in San Diego Bay. It's wow, look at that sunrise. Jolene, it couldn't be any better. I really appreciate you all joining us this morning. Please give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this video if you like it. And as always, it's a great pleasure to be with you. But today, live from the Relentless, outstanding crew on this boat. You would not be making a mistake if you chartered these guys or jumped on an open party trip. Jolene, thanks for holding that thing. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you again really, really soon, my friend.
You know, we were supposed to go on this trip about 3 weeks ago, and it didn't happen, which is fine because we had a marvelous trip yesterday with great weather, a great group of people. The people on this trip, you know, being together for a day and a half is just, friendships are built. And, you know, it was such beautiful weather, like I said, that, you know, the captain Mike hunted and looked, you know, all day long, and then the time came, you know, right before sunset, and Joe hooked up right here at the bow on the starboard side, and you know, he's just phenomenal, you know, fisherman, and it's just like automatic for him, you know. And then so I'm fishing here and dropping down flat fall, just going practicing, so to speak, and then the captain said, hey, get that sinker rig out, and I did what the captain said, and I had never caught a tuna on a sinker rig, and I was right here, and patience prevailed, and I got hooked up, and it was 87.4, and it took about an hour, and it would kick my butt.
Oh my God, that was really something.
And the crew was great. I had Huckabee and Trevor and Jonathan. They were all hands on deck, and everyone just, you know, was rooting for me. It was really special.
It was special because you were there, and let me tell you, you did a remarkable job on that fish. People are going to see it when they see the video. Man, I mean, I was watching you, and there was no chance I could see you were not going to hand that fish off, were you?
No, I didn't want to, and I didn't want to lose it, and I just gave it my all, and just experience on the water. We all learn something on our trips, and we get better through friends that want to help us get better at fishing. I was using 60-pound with a Talica 16 with an old CalStar rod, and that's what did it for me.
And you can see Jolene in a previous podcast she did with Friedman Adventures. It's a great one. A lot of memories and a lot of love for this sport. I'll tell you, like you said, a lot of new friendships on this trip, right?
Yes.
And some people would look at it and say, 10 bluefin, that's not a very good trip, but God,
It was
I
good.
kept saying it seems like we got so much more because
Yeah.
I think we had so many more hookups and it was so exciting.
Oh,
and,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good chaos at times, but yeah, it was a great trip, and this boat's great. It fishes great. It's comfortable. Great galley, great deck, lots of bait. We had tons of bait. They were just heaving out the bait, and we're coming into port. It's a beautiful morning on a Sunday morning. We have a day off, and we could get all our gear ready for the next trip.
Jolene, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Phil.